You're listening to the Sans Pants Network.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Joel.
I'm Jackson.
I'm also Joel.
Plumbing the Death Star is the comedy pop culture podcast that asks the important questions like, how would you market Westworld to investors?
Westworld.
Yes.
It's a wonderful little theme park where the people are real and you can the robots are real.
the people are
go
real
there.
and the robots are fake.
And the
people are real and the robots are people.
Yeah, the people are real, the robots are real. You can make love to the robots. Also, there's Easter eggs where you could go and do certain things and partake in a golden orgy.
I really like to imagine
and
this
you can
on a
also shoot them in
billboard.
the head.
The people are real, the robots are real. You can fuck the robots? Question mark?
And the love is real.
Love is real. You can convince the robots that they are in love with you. You can convince yourself you're in love with the
robot?
robots.
Absolutely.
Give me, so many dollars.
The horses are real.
Horses are real.
the
Are they
horses
robots?
robots?
No, they're robots. But the robots are real.
But the robots are real. Hang
So-
on. So,
Yeah.
when in Westworld,
Okay,
refresh
we're
my
having
memory.
this meeting. So we're about to go in and pitch
We're having
to
a s-
investors, to the sharks.
Yeah,
the
this
sharks.
is...
To the
So
sharks.
this has to
Westworld.
happen either a month before.
Yeah, but right now we're in the corridor outside the meeting.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
television program Westworld,
Absolutely.
when they go to Westworld, is that peak Westworld, or have things gotten fucked up?
No, that's peak Westworld.
Peak Westworld.
So they're just having a normal Westworld
It's
time.
a normal day at Westworld until things go really wrong at Westworld.
What goes
But
wrong
here's the
at West?
spoiler of Westworld, season 1, is that you're actually seeing two timelines.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
But both of them, it's
Jimmy
going fine.
Smits or whatever is the future?
I can't remember.
Is that his name?
No.
No, not Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smits is the past.
Also, that's not Jimmy Smith, but I like that. It's Jimmy Sampson or something like that.
The greasy guy.
No, one of the McFoyles from
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mr.
always
Mr. Greasy
sunny.
is the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He baby Ed Harris dad.
That's the dad, but also the same guy.
yeah. Well, baby grow up to be dad.
Yes.
Mr. Greasy from Always Sunny turns into Ed Harris?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
time's crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, that's
Is
even-
Westworld at peak both times?
Yeah,
I'm guessing
and there's
it's
it's not like
crazy.
people in the second era aren't like Westworld fell off.
No,
They're
it's
like, it
crazy
still
to think
rocks.
that, like, because when like the twist that it's two timelines is because it's great back then and it's great now.
Yeah,
How did
nothing's
they
changed.
How did they do that twist? Like, as in, like, how did they make
You think
that a
you're following
twist?
two narratives,
Yeah.
and then in the end you realize that Ed Harris is there because of the first.
And they're both just having a nice time?
No, I mean things go wrong, but it's not Westworld's fault.
Oh, what happened
Well, I mean
to go
it is
wrong?
Westworld's fault because the robots become alive.
Yeah.
The robots are
Well,
real.
Greasy Boy kind of gets too. He goes too deep.
Yeah.
he loses himself. He does what you shouldn't do when you go deep undercover and
But
fall in love.
he falls in love.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Grease in the past falls in love with a robot.
Anyway,
And then he accidentally sparks a rebellion?
No, Mr. Grease in the past falls in love with a robot, but the robot he falls in love with is a really early model that has too much sentience, and they've had to dull her sentience.
yeah, and they keep kind of moving the different roles around.
Yeah.
So on one iteration of the storyline, maybe you're the head, I don't know, of the gang. Then
Yeah.
the other time, you're just a humble banker. And then the other one, well, now you're a prostitute.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it kind of keeps going and keeps going.
And she keeps waking up in the lab where they clean the cum out of the robots or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, one can only assume.
Yeah, one has to imagine. And then she's like, what the hell? Am I a freaking robot?
Yeah.
But then she learns to hide it, and then it's her
Ed
versus the Man
Harris
in
is
Black.
like, I want you to remember me.
Yeah, but she's like, bro, I'm a machine.
Bro, I don't remember jack shit.
And they've all
keep
got
getting
little
my
balls
mind
that are their brains.
Yes.
They're little black balls. And then obviously stuff goes wrong after that.
Yes.
But
But
Westworld
that's
for a
not-
very
that's-
long time,
That's not what we're here. We're here to
it's
be
running like
like,
clockwork.
we're here to be
Okay,
like
so it's
investors.
the-
We want to make a theme park.
Yeah.
We want to make a theme park where you don't know who's real and who's not, and the guns are real.
Does
You know how
do
when you're-
real people die at Westworld?
Only when things go really wrong.
Yeah, initially, no. Which to me, I think kind of gets rid of some of the fun in a way that obviously.
Excuse me?
No, so.
You're not allowed to talk at the investment meeting if you're like, nah. No one's really died.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
because you go into a gunfight against
Yeah.
another cowboy. And obviously you live in the fantasy, I'm Johnny the cowboy. I'm ready to kill this other cowboy. Quick draw. Pew! But he never has a chance against you. Because his bullets, when they recognize a human being, it's just like a blank fires. So I'm never really in
What
danger.
happens when...
So that makes the attraction worse?
Well, it just means that it's harder to get immersed.
What do you mean?
It's like playing a video game where you've got invincibility on the whole time.
No, it's like playing a video game that's a bit real. It would be like, what you're describing is, I can't have fun unless I'm playing a video game with that prototype headset that kills me if I die in the game.
I think if the bullets just bruised you, that would be fine. If the bullets, I need to feel that impact. Because otherwise, I'm not scared. I need a bit of tension. Otherwise, what am I doing here?
It's a theme park.
If I'm there for a week, and
You want to get shot.
I want to feel like I could actually get shot. But if I know their bullets are going to fire blanks,
Surely when you
who
fire up,
cares? There's no tension.
but it's a safety measure.
Yeah, well,
Do you like to go on roller coasters even though there's a brace?
yeah, but that's not part of the fantasy of the roller coasters that I might fall off. But part of the fantasy of being in a theme park.
Well, part of the thrill is that it's dangerous.
Yeah, but it's not dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, that's what I'm saying for roller coasters.
yeah.
It's you trick your brain.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Because
work
your
for me.
brain at that
It
moment...
wouldn't work for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're different.
If
You're
I
built
knew
different. Yeah,
that the
okay.
bullets couldn't hurt me,
Yeah.
I would probably engage in less shootouts with cowboys.
But if the bullets could hurt you, you'd shoot out more.
Yes, they don't obviously have to kill me. I don't want that. They could at the bare minimum.
So,
Impact.
so we're gonna make you a suit.
Yes.
That when Johnny robot cowboy shoot you, at the little like
Yeah, like
little
that. There's
kinetic
a,
bang.
you can
that
get a
happens.
haptic feedback suit
yeah,
for VR
Yeah,
that
yeah.
electrocutes you when you take damage in the game. If I wore that the whole time, that would be fine. Then I would have a much better time at Westworld. If the gun activated the haptic feedback suit, oh,
All right, we need to not let him talk. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to mark because mostly like because we're a theme park, you got to market at the families.
Yeah. The idea that you want to be hurt by this so that you can have a good time is
like-
crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of crazy to come up with this, like the first roadblock you have. But for me, it
Yeah.
would be like I don't want to like deal with his fetish shit, right? But then I know that the theme park ends with people fucking the hell out of robots.
Everyone's fucking
where
the
I'm
robots.
like, God damn it!
Is that part of the experience or just
Yeah.
something you can do?
No, it's part of the experience.
It's fucked up.
It's like also kind of a weird robot brothel.
Yeah,
That's the sort of vibe of the theme park for some reason.
it's very strange.
It's like they went into the meeting and were like, you know, when you're at Disneyland and you just desperately wish you could fuck Minnie Mouse, and the investors are like, yes, not what?
Excuse me.
Huh?
Because like with the technology that is there, it's like okay, we can have lifelike robots.
Yeah.
You looking at them, it's hard to distinguish if they're real or not.
Yeah.
But we all know that they are robots,
Yeah.
right? And so we're going to make the theme park an emergence kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can go in there, you can be a cowboy, and they're all going to have little storylines that you can like partake in.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, cool. But then it's just like, you go to a theme park and I kind of, where's the rides?
Yeah,
Where's the
yeah.
roller coaster? But it's not that kind of theme park.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. We're
Yeah.
doing LARPing.
It's a big law.
It's a big LARP.
yeah.
It's a big.
And so yes, you can have shootouts with some cowboys. You can protect the gang, like so you can like fight that gang
Yep.
against the town, or you can join the gang against the town,
Black
whatever
hat,
it might
white
be.
hat. That's what they
Exactly,
give you the option
right?
at the beginning. Bad good guy.
My question, I guess, maybe this is more of a good question before we go into to investors, because I'm also thinking of like, well, what if we have like competing storylines? What if we have two friends that come in, one's doing white hat, one's doing black hat? What happens?
But is that
Can
part
they?
of...
What happens if they use their gun on each other? Can they?
I don't think that they allow that.
Well, I
How
think
do
it
we-
would
I think
just
the
be-
same thing would happen. I think
How are
your
we
guns...
stopping that? We good?
I think we're good. I
All
think
right,
we got
Is
it.
the,
cool.
is the chip in the gun or the robot?
I don't know.
I think it's in
man.
the gun. I think it's in the gun. I
hope so.
Because eventually the robots figure out how to turn it off.
Okay, so it's in the gun.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, okay, so some reason we're like, yes, and we can make sweet love to these
You can
robots.
fuck
Yeah.
these bots, baby.
So we're not appealing to families.
Well, we're appealing to mums and dads.
So
Who don't like to fuck down?
So, how long are you in Westworld for? Is it like a day?
No,
Like,
it's like a week. Yeah. It's a week to a month.
So it's like-
you can spend a lot of time. It's very expensive to go, and it's like something like $30,000, $40,000 a day.
All right,
something fucked.
Okay, so we're pivoting.
okay, we're pitching the Star Wars hotel.
Yeah. This is kind of like, got me thinking about this all, because you're like, the Star Wars hotel, very expensive.
Yeah.
It closed down.
Yeah,
You can't
really
sleep with a single
You
Twi'lek.
don't sleep with any of the actors there.
Yeah. They won't even let you have a proper lightsaber fight.
Yeah,
Jackson
exactly.
would have hated it.
Oh,
because-
well, but with a lightsaber, you can at least hit me. I don't know why this is crazy. Imagine
it's a real gun.
yes.
So
well,
if there's any threat,
in
it
my
could go so
perfect
wrong.
Westworld, it would not be a real gun. It would hit me with like a pellet,
Dusha.
because otherwise it's just a power fantasy.
I go into Star Wars and I'm up against some bastard, and they have a lightsaber, and I go to protect my body, and they don't cut off my hand. 0 stars. I would never go again. Disgusting.
They can hit my hand. Otherwise, it's just a power fantasy, and I'm not interested. I'm not interested in going in there and being like, I'm in the middle of a shootout, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
In the town, in the middle of town. The gangs that come in, and I'm hiding behind a crate. Well, yeah, obviously I'm hiding, but I'm not hiding for any reason. 'Cause if I stood up and just walked over to each of them and plugged them in the head, there's no threat to me.
But isn't that basically what Ed Harris does?
Yes, I think I'll become the Man in Black like that. I don't think I could immerse myself in a situation where it is meant to be
Yet he
similar to a video game.
Yet he fall in love.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen to me. Or I fall in love with, but it's like the prospector who has the treasure quest or whatever. Remember me. Oh, I'm sorry, son.
Falling in love or forming a romantic relationship would be fine in your situation because you can actually have sex with them.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
So, there's no difference there for you because you hate the gun because it won't actually hurt you.
Yeah.
But
you're happy to fall in love because they can break your heart.
Yeah, all of that's real, technically.
Sure, I'm not against someone falling in love. I don't think it would happen to me. I mean, who knows? You know, you meet the right robot, but I don't think that it would happen to me. I think otherwise it's just a power trip, and I'm not interested.
We're going to the investors. I guess we need to figure out. All right, before we figure out pitching our own Westworld, what ends up happening. It's just So a lot of these robots, what are we doing here? We are pitching to very wealthy individuals, the 1%ers of the world, to be like, come and be a cowboy. Can multiple billionaires come at the same time?
Come enjoy your, I guess, cowboy power trip fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, when you have too much money, billionaire,
Yeah.
they're basically you look at us like we're ants, insignificant morsels of nothing to you.
Yeah.
Well, what if we can give you that? You know how you've always wanted to kill a man?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Here's your
and it's you.
opportunity.
Well, here's your opportunity to do so.
You can brutally torture the Westworld robots.
And in fact,
fine.
that's fine. There's no, we don't actually pay more money for that.
Is it encouraged?
Well, they don't stop it.
Yeah, but is it the kind of thing where
I'm guessing they're expecting you to actually shoot and kill.
Yeah, but for say torture. Say if I'm a wealthy billionaire and I'm flicking through because this is the future, my hollow television.
Yeah.
And I see an ad for Westworld. What, as part of the ad, are they come to Westworld and live a fully immersive experience, or is there some hint or something in there where they're you can do whatever you like to these fucking robots?
Well, there's a lot of hidden aspects, right? Little Easter eggs, a lot of, talk to the right person, I don't know, walk counterclockwise 3 times and slam a window.
Yeah.
And that opens up a secret thing, right? Because we do see secret storylines, or at least, programming that, again, would have had to have been sorted by somebody. That then there's hey, here's a little sneaky trick for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing it's of the 1% of the 1%, or maybe you find out their dark proclivities.
Yeah.
And so you're well, for a little bit of extra mil, we can do something along those lines.
Give you a custom story.
There's some stuff that happens, which is it's just very rarely happens. They when that one person experiences that that gold painted orgy. Right?
Yes, that's right. It's an
is a good example.
So
of
everyone in there is painted gold.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're
So-
fucking down.
That's awesome.
So I reckon
cool.
what that
Do they
was.
join in or just watch?
I think they join
I
in.
think they join in.
Do they also cover themselves in gold
I
paint?
forget.
I don't really remember.
It's been a long time since I watched one.
But Westworld's still so relevant. That's why we're doing the episode.
Not only has it been so long since I've seen it, I don't think you can get it, in any like legitimate ways. Because a certain brilliant man made sure that it no longer exists.
It's been wiped from the face of the earth.
Goodbye, Westworld.
So my theory there would be like, clearly what's happened is there's a very wealthy billionaire has been like, look, I've always wanted to partake in a golden orgy. Can you program that in? And so the programmers are like,
smart.
there we go, we've programmed it in.
It's in there for you.
Here it is. This is what you need to do it. They're like, sick. And then they go off and do that. And they just leave it in there because, well,
'cause
the
it's like
leading
a
code, who
secret.
cares?
Yeah, exactly. And surely that would attract some
Whoa.
people.
And then it's a bit of a on the Westworld forums. On like our Westworld
Reddit
secrets.
survived,
To be like, oh, did you know if you do this, this, and this, you can go and have a bit of a fun time and have a gold orgy.
The idea of living out other people's fantasies feels like it would appeal to you, Jackson.
Yeah, in a way.
Like if Westworld was just all of things like that, being like, can you program in this? And then you just got to go in and experience all
it's
of
like
those
exploring
things.
someone else's house.
It's not wrong.
The dream of exploring someone else's house is opening their fridge and being like, you put the milk there.
Well,
I don't think it's similar.
I forgot that you just have this desire to.
I think if I was the last man on earth, that's what I would do every day.
It's weird because I've stayed in Airbnbs with you and you don't explore that.
Well, an
much.
Airbnb is
different.
It's different because an Airbnb has been set up for guests.
Yeah.
But someone's personal life, in a way, the way a single person maybe has their fridge laid out is incredibly intimate, really. You know what I mean? Because it's so personal and nothing to the person, but it's also so integral to them.
I would say that.
Also
you're
looking into a pantry as well.
Oh,
Same vibe.
What things have you bought at the supermarket?
Another little layout, like little step there. What's their layout of like where they've put everything in the kitchen?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There's all those little micro decisions there. You're like, well, that's
Looking at the pots and pans.
You guys are going to go to friends' houses more because you're making this sound like it's perverted, but these are all things you can just do if you're in someone else's
we do.
house.
Yeah.
Like, the fridge
but
isn't.
they're like a person
It's
I
not
know.
intimate.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. The person I know, so it's not quite the same.
Oh, so you want to go into a random house?
Yeah. It's
And open a
voyeuristic,
fridge.
I suppose. Yeah.
In a way.
And it's not sexual, shockingly.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
it's
I've
just-
heard that a lot with you.
Like, no, this one I get.
Yeah.
You're
I
curious.
Think, yeah,
I
it's
get
just,
it.
I don't know, it's interesting.
I'm there.
A real...
I can imagine opening, like, if I end up in a stranger's house, opening the fridge just to see what's in there in the sense of, like, maybe there'll be something good.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't care when someone puts the milk. Unless it's something fucked up, and I'll be like, that's a stupid
I think
place.
it's just fun extrapolating a life backwards from what's in the
You like
fridge.
to have an imagination about it. Like,
Yeah. Who is
Johnny
this
this
guy?
fridge?
It's like finding a discarded shopping list that's been handwritten
Yeah.
and trying to figure out what they were making.
It's fascinating.
You're pretty much giving yourself a little adventure.
Yeah, of course. Bro,
But-
I'm the last man alive. What else is going on?
Yeah.
It's either that or jerk my little tiny weenie penis off.
Yeah,
you
in
know.
hopes that jerking it off so much it grows, but it never
Yeah,
does.
never will.
It
Never
just
will.
shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
lube
sad.
left.
Yeah.
What if you were going to Westworld?
Yeah.
What would you get out of it? Say I've given you a free ticket to Westworld. You've not paid anything. You got a free week on the Wild West, on the frontier.
So I would probably
yeah.
try and find a lot of these secrets and Easter eggs because role playing doesn't do a lot for me.
Yeah.
Meaning that Westworld just at its core,
You wouldn't be having a good time.
bum bum.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. To me, it would be the same as if I just go to Disneyland. I'm standing in Frontier Town.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
So if somebody came up to you, a prospector, and they fall over, and out of their overalls falls a little treasure map, and they're like, "Oh, did you see that treasure map?" And then they tuck it away. Are you just gonna be like, ignore the guy?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Would you come with me, and we'll find the treasure?
So this is where
Role play it with me.
And you also have to be dressed up though, because you
Yeah.
can't just be in like
You're
jeans
dressed
and
like a
tee.
cowboy.
You have to be a
Yeah.
cowboy.
I know.
Would you
I
get
know
black
how
hat
it
or white
works.
hat when they offer?
Well, so here's the thing, Jackson. You know how you were talking about how you were like, I would love to do a gunfight, but the bullets have to hurt me.
Yeah.
I feel like that, but for the whole experience, where I'm like, none of this, like, we're just having a little play.
Yeah.
It would, my brain wouldn't let me get around it far, like, enough.
So what would you say to the prospector? Would you like to come with me into the mountains? There's gold up there.
I might, only because I'd be like,
You'd feel bad.
no, I wouldn't feel
All right,
bad
man.
because I wouldn't.
You're here for a week.
Yeah.
No, I know. I think I would probably go just for something to do.
Yeah.
Just to see other stuff.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there'd be like a little chip or something, like little recognition in all like the robots' brains, where they need, like they see you, you're like, "Want to come see my gold?" And you're like, I guess. They're like, You don't seem very excited, do you?
You don't have to come with me.
You don't have to. Is there anything that you'd like that we could improve this experience, sir?
Have I been the ideal prospector?
If you would like to form a complaint.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've broken the
Can
game.
you fill out this survey?
Yeah, because like, what is real in Westworld? So if I'm eating I'm not in a computer. I understand, guys. So
the food is real.
Yeah, you're walking around
Obviously, the
using
food
your
and-
human legs and
Yeah.
arms.
Yeah, so the food and drink was obviously real because again, you're not in a computer.
Yes.
So like if the prospectors, for example, is like go to the mines in the mountains, and I guess I'm actually hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting on a mule with him.
Yeah.
It's just you and the prospector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Dammit are like, he went for the first quest. He's all-
God, he's just doing the prospect and mule quest.
Is the
the-
gold
What the
real?
hell?
No. You don't
Okay.
get the gold, but you might be able to then spend the gold in town on cowboy things.
Yeah.
So once you and the prospector come back rich, you could then go to the brothel and pick a high-class prostitute.
So really, the only thing you get out of Westworld is sex.
well,
Well, it
And
seems
because-
to be, yes.
Because every single
And if you like violence,
Yeah.
you get to brain a lot of robots.
yeah, that's true.
Because like it seems like that every single quest line pretty much just all paths lead to the brothel.
I don't know, but it does
Well,
seem that way,
if
don't
you
it?
had a lot of gold
Yeah.
in cowboy times,
Yeah.
what are you spending it on?
Buy a house, a nice horse.
Okay, you could do that. You got a nice horse, you got a nice house.
Yeah, but
then
I know
it's day
don't.
two.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have them,
Yeah, but you are in that house for the rest of your time in Westworld.
which is only a week.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, otherwise you're sleeping in either the hotel in town or camping.
The hotel in town's fine.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair
You
enough.
know what I mean? Like, as in,
Yeah. No,
Well, I mean,
get
if
it. Like,
you can't immerse yourself,
Yeah.
it's not going to do anything for you.
You can't just like, I'm here for the rest of my life. I mean, you can, like, Ed Harris does in a weird way because
Well-
he keeps spending too much money in Westworld.
Yeah.
But there is this kind of thing of like, you're going in there and it's like, are you a main character?
Yeah.
Because like, is that what we're selling?
Yeah,
is that what Westworld is selling?
absolutely. That's what it's
Because-
meant. That's what it's meant to feel like.
Because if that's the case, how do you have multiple main
I think
characters
because you've got
happening
multiple
at once?
quests.
But then what if we both want to do?
Well, then we gotta share.
You know
the
what
role.
I mean?
We gotta
It's
share
like,
the
all
role.
right. Say for example, like we're there. Me and Douche
Yeah.
are there. You're not included.
I bought you the tickets.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
watching
you.
on a
Okay,
monitor.
You're watching because of your sick proclivities.
yeah.
We're
What,
there,
I hope they open the fridge so I can see what's in it.
and
It's not sexual.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Johnny Prospector. He
Yeah.
falls over. There's a map. He's like, "You welcome.
Come with me,
the
there's
hills."
treasure in the
And we
hills.
both look at each other and we're like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, they're both doing." The
Well, then your
Prospector
story is about two cowboy friends going to get gold in the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's something I'm unclear about because they do a lot in
So
the
is-
first series where the day repeats.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
yeah.
in the course of a week the same things happen in town every day, or if it's like you get the week-long experience where they have different stuff
Yeah.
happening at all times. Because if it's the same thing in town every day, that wrecks it even more for me.
Yeah.
If every day I wake up and I see that motherfucking prospect, I've got
It's
the
Groundhog
gold,
Day.
I've slept with the high class, prostitute in the brothel, and then the next morning I wake up and I see somebody else doing the prospector quest. I'm like, well,
Then you can't even shoot them because your gun won't work.
yeah, exactly. Why am I a robot? Oh no, I can't shoot.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't even shoot the prospector?
No, you can shoot the prospector.
Nobody does the quest today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But, okay. Well, my next question was:
Yeah.
assuming that it's not a repeat every single day, what if you were in there for a month?
Yeah.
How long would you have to be in there before you got immersed?
It'd have to be a year, at least. At
Yeah.
minimum, sorry.
Nah,
Okay.
it'd be a month, right? It's got to be a month.
I think a month
think
you'd
a
be
month.
sucked in. You
A
just
month you'd have to be.
You know
sucked
what?
in.
A year is probably
year
a little
is
too
so
long.
A year is
long.
scary.
Yeah, it has
Let's
to be
go. A month is too short.
a fortnight.
Yeah.
I reckon.
No, a month's too short for
Think
me.
of like a holiday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
The average
go.
holiday, 10 days, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 6 to 8 weeks
Yeah, fair.
before I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to pretend this is real.
At what
Nah,
point
what
in
are
the
you
six-
doing those like before those 6 weeks? You just
Well-
kind of there, like walking around, being a big grumpus, being like,
Well, not
I
grumpy,
guess
just-
I'll come and walk and get this quest.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, well, because
I
what
don't know,
else am I
you're
meant to
very
do?
apathetic. Well, enjoy
Yeah,
yourself
because
there.
like
Lean in.
You feel like the surly teen, all like the dressed all in black.
The
and you're like,
Wild
come
West."
on, kid, we're enjoying the Wild West. No, I don't want to,
Yeah,
Dad.
it's lame.
It's not that I don't want to. It's
yeah.
just
losers like you. Oh,
I mean, look, if I,
hurtful.
My son is so mean to me.
Yeah, well, this is 30K a fucking day.
I don't know why people would fetishize the Wild West so much to the
That's
point
also
where
another question.
Well, it's all of the Westworld places are they're places where a specific subset of the world was in a great deal of power. That's a weird undercurrent they did nothing with in Westworld. Because the other places you have, because it's more than just Westworld.
Yeah.
If maybe one of these would appeal to you more.
yeah, well, let's find out.
So you have Westworld, you have the British Raj, you have Shogun World, I think it's called, or Samurai World.
Yeah.
You have World War II World. You also have,
and you can pick a side.
I guess so. I think the idea there is that it's like a spy fantasy, but most, I don't know. They don't explore it massively. And then like 1920s Prohibition gangster world. Any of these more up your alley?
The only one that is I like more than Westworld there would be like maybe the 1920s gangster one.
Yeah.
I could get syphilis from Al Capone.
Fucking crazy if you come away with real syphilis.
Okay, so we have you know the multi-billionaire Joel Dusha. He's requested that he gets syphilis from Al Capone. Can we program
Can we
that
ethically
in
do that?
somehow?
Yeah, just like, can a computer give a man syphilis?
I mean, if
Are we gonna make a digital syphilis for this man? Also funny because I could. It sounded like you said he wants to get syphilis from Al Capone. Is that what he asked for?
yeah, I want syphilis I want to receive it from Al Capone.
Okay. I mean, it's his fantasy.
That's what he wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make you a
1920.
Make you a robot syphilis, I suppose.
But like, I don't know, I just feel like the Prohibition era, there's a lot more interesting stuff for me going on. But even then,
It's all it's all fake, right?
Yeah.
So I feel for you, it's the same problem, no matter what
yeah.
it is. It's like
my brain,
it's a video game that takes all the fun out of a video game.
well, no, it's like
in a way.
because
so-
you don't like a Skyrim or any game where you make your own story.
we've established this before.
Yeah.
I'm a you are Craig gamer and not I'm Craig.
I'm aware.
Oh no, it was you are Craig and not who's Craig.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You say
yeah,
you want the game to tell you, "Hey, buddy, you're Craig."
Yeah,
and
like,
not,
hey.
"Hey, are you Craig?"
Yeah.
Or are you something? Well, then, what about if in Westworld they were like, "Hey, you're
But here's the thing. I know it's not real. My brain, it's like
yeah."
What if they're
I'm
like,
just
okay.
not the audience for this.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting
Yeah,
to try
fair.
and figure
No,
out
no.
how to make it appeal.
All right. Well, we'll have
the guns have to be real.
we'll have a few different
Well,
options.
that's
right?
how to appeal to me.
So, hey, well, come to Westworld, and you can have this emergent cowboy time, and you can have your own, OC. You can make your own character, and they can kind of, be there, coming down to the Wild West, and they can kind of explore the world as they want. Or we have some archetypes that you have, and you can be Johnny Outlaw. You
Oh,
can be Johnny
can
Sheriff.
I be Craig? You are Craig.
You are Craig.
You can be Craig, who just runs a general store.
Yeah.
And you can
Craig.
kind of have like a bunch of different archetypes where it's like, well, here is actually your role and your backstory.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, this all sounds bad, and I wouldn't want to
Yes,
go.
me neither.
Um,
Another
Because
weird.
like a video game is good because you're sitting down and you're playing a little game, but like actually, it's like VR doesn't like putting on a VR headset is fun.
Yeah.
In a sense of like it's different,
yeah.
but you could take a VR headset off in 15 minutes when you get
Oh,
bored.
I know. It often feels like
To
the
go
Westworld,
somewhere
the
and have a-
idea
Yeah.
is someone who doesn't really understand why people play a game.
Yeah.
Because imagine having to travel to then just spend a week pretending.
I know, right? Like, hey, can I fast travel? No.
No. Okay. Another thing I keep thinking about is that when you see everybody going into Westworld, they basically all just play cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, your archetypical John Wayne
Yeah.
cowboy. But what if I was like, I want to be a snake oil salesman, traveling town to town, selling ointments that do nothing? That's
Yeah.
my fantasy. That sounds very hard to set up going in and then to live out.
Especially
you know
if
what I
there's
mean?
other people in the
Yeah.
If it was
Yeah.
just you, that's easy.
Yes,
This is
yeah,
why
yeah.
I just don't understand, or in a weird way, how they kind of operate and for like a giant influx of player characters.
Yeah.
Because sure. Oh well, it's two people going off to Prospector. Oh, it's like a group of 30 going off to with a Prospector. It's once you scale it up, it becomes somehow stranger.
Yeah.
Well, another
Yeah.
weird thing is that like in the show, everyone becomes cowboys or whatever.
Yeah.
Which means that they are going to shoot these robots with their gun. I think you put me in there, and because it feels real, I'm like, I don't really want to take a life.
Yeah.
I'd be more
for
likely
sure.
to be a snake oil salesman and
Yeah.
just talk to people and vibe out what's going
Yeah,
on.
like
Yeah.
I want to, can I have a dump charisma basically to be like, I want to talk my way out of this. I don't want to be
But
like.
then
I guess that's a one-way ticket, express pass to the
yeah.
orgy.
I guess. Yeah.
But I think the thing with Westworld is it would work. If you were like every combat encounter,
yeah, good
I just
point.
say, hey, don't shoot me. They're going to be like, why? Like they probably won't shoot you because
Yeah.
it's all designed for your fantasy.
And you're, yeah.
You
And
know?
I guess also when we come back to that's the shooting aspect of it all.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is like, why did we have this whole camp?
Yeah.
This giant theme park, as it were, to like, yes, you could immerse yourself in cowboy times. You can have
Yeah.
big shootouts. You can go find treasure, but also you could probably just have sex with everybody. Like,
Yeah.
it's a robot. Why didn't we just open that? Like, why don't because clearly it seems
Welcome
to
to
be
Fuck World.
yeah,
Whoa!
We-
Porno world. Put
Porno
me in,
world.
dude.
right.
Well, no, but I kind of get it from. So obviously, when you're watching pornography, we can have a frank discussion.
Yeah, we
about
can.
this.
We're amongst friends.
We're amongst friends. We're all adults. Sometimes you watch pornos and it's just a cock going into a pussy,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Well, this is fine," but it's also kind of devoid from anything human.
Yeah, I need a
now
bit of
you wanna-
personality
you want
in
a
my
bit of
porno.
Or I need
romance.
a narrative. I need some reason that cock's going into that
Yeah.
pussy.
Or
So,
even something as simple as I would like to see them get undressed.
yeah, or the camera to pan out.
Yeah. So it's not just whole and hog.
Yeah, exactly.
So well, now,
Whoa, going whole hog.
Whoa, is that what that means?
So yes, there is this kind of like element of like, well, I want a bit of a storyline, I want
Yeah.
a bit of my romance. Look, I like my smut to be, to titillate my mind and my nether regions.
Yeah.
They need to be doing maths while they fuck.
You know,
So-
if my sexual fantasy is I
It
start
just-
working on a farm and there's a sexy farm hand there and he's,
There's a sexy pig.
And it's fine because it's a robot
Yeah,
pig.
I'm gonna
It
fuck
feels
that
like a real
robot
pig,
pig.
and by all it thinks like a it thinks like a real pig.
by
I
all
hear
accounts, it's a real pig.
A billionaire paid us a lot of money for this.
Yeah. And we're all like, David Cameron, don't do that.
Yeah, no. So then why are we spending all this time, money, energy, and resource if we wanted to be like, well, what we could just scale this back down.
Yeah.
We're making not only are we making a small town, we're making a small town with like hills of like vast hills over there you
Yeah.
can go to. We got like someone who's building like a log cabin by a lovely lake or whatever. You're putting in all this resource that mostly goes unwatched, unviewed, seen kind
Yeah.
of thing. And the same thing about traveling, right? Oh, okay, cool. I get the prospect there. I got to go to the hills. In some video games, not all, but in some, you're like, sweet. All right, loading screen. I'm
Yeah.
now at the hills.
Yeah.
Or at least like after a while, I can have some markers and I can
Yeah.
fast travel. This, I'm like, sick. I'm here for 3 days.
Yeah.
Day 2 was spent getting to the hills.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it kind of
why
reminds
isn't it
me of
just
this very old
scale
comedy
back?
article I read.
Scale
Don't
back.
remember where.
10 things that you think aren't cock behavior but make you a cock by Gladstone on Cracked. Is that the comedy article?
It wasn't cracked. No, it might have been a something awful article, but basically it was called Dolores, Where Are the Toilets? And the idea was that you're hanging out with Dolores in the middle of halfway through your quest and you're like, I need to take a shit. But all around me are outhouses or just holes in the ground. So being like, Dolores, where are the real toilets?
Yeah.
And I think that is a problem with Westworld. Even if it's like the basic, you still want it to be a holiday.
Yeah.
Those basic amenities you still want to be there. I want riding a horse to somehow be more comfortable than riding a real horse, which is probably something they could do though. Really, they're robots.
I want the guns to hurt me, but if the horse feels like a real horse, my immersion is also
It's because the
ruined.
horse isn't a threat to me.
it's so strange.
No, but it causes the same discomfort you're talking about.
No,
You have some very weird parameters.
I think exactly what I'm talking about makes sense.
There's no danger in a gunfight, but you don't want there to be danger with riding a horse.
I don't
There
want
can be danger. I just
don't-
don't want to sore balls.
I don't want saddle sores, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would like to be able to shit in a real toilet if I can, but
But
also I
if-
would like if somebody hits me with a bat to feel an impact. Otherwise,
to be honest, Jackson, yeah, okay, okay.
otherwise,
I
what's the
understand.
point?
I understand. I
Well,
understand.
what's the point of doing any of it if you're pretending to be a cowboy and then not shitting in your palm
it's
or whatever?
Those things, you're like, those are the creature comforts that I want to. I want to immerse myself to a certain degree, but not this kind of level of immersion.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, like, be in a fight where there is a bit of danger there and I can feel some pain, but it's not going to actually blow my arm off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also want to make sweet love to a robot and get real blown.
Yeah.
But also don't want to shit in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And also,
Okay.
I don't want to eat gross porridge I want to eat, like, I'm paying $30K a day. Give me
Give me a
delicious
hamburger.
hamburger
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I want.
Or ham.
Or ham. Give me ham, okay?
Yeah, I kind of get it. And so, like, yes, traveling by horse, yes, we have to do that. And you have to feel like being like on a horse if you're like, oh, we know what a horse is like. But honestly, we have the technology to make it better. Then make it better then.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a car.
Make
a car.
We've done it once before. We'll do it again. Replace the
That's how you can
horse
tell.
with car.
That's how you can tell all the NPCs from the player characters if they're just like the horses. They stand still and like they just like without moving their legs. They're just like. "Arr." Those are the player
I
characters.
think that guy
That's
might be a
comfortable.
real human being.
Well, it does feel like the Westworld started as a different thing, and when you jump in, even in the past storyline in Westworld, it's a different thing to how they started it.
Yeah.
Because it feels very
how
much
do you-
like it was like, hey, come be a cowboy.
Yeah.
And then people were like, I really want to fuck the robots.
I know. It just
And
feels
they're
like,
all right, the
where-
new reward is you fuck the robots. Because it literally, from everything you've said, makes it feel like that you just go hang out in this town, pretend it's the Wild West, and your reward at the end of it is to get to have sex with whoever you want.
Basically, it does feel that way, which is why I'm like, why do they do all this stuff? Whereas, like, to be honest, why don't you just have a lovely little couple of houses? Basically, you become, you become a
Make
madam.
a robot brothel.
Yeah,
but
make
Just
a brothel.
make a little couple of streets in Beverly Hills, sleep with the stars, and then you have robots that are all like famous people.
Oh
Bette
wow!
Midler.
Someone's gonna. Oh, that feels bad. People are gonna be like, I'm suing the shit out of you for stealing my likeness.
Fake famous people.
There we go.
Like Johnny Movies.
Bro, I can fuck the real Johnny Movies.
Johnny Movies and Sheila Cinema.
What if you got like, say, for example, you were like, all right, I understand that I tried to make.
Maryland TV.
Yeah, we tried to make real life robots after real life stars, and you would not believe the lawsuits we were threatened with when someone voiced that. So what we have done instead is we've gotten cartoon characters. Just look like that one.
Oh,
Look
fuck
at
Marge
that.
Simpson.
Whoa!
And we've made what our interpretation of a real
Sleep
person.
with the animated stars.
But if they were real and imagined by me.
Do you think?
Marge Sampson.
Marge Sampson and Matt Groening cannot sue me because, yes, this is a lovely woman with giant blue hair.
And yellow
yes, her
skin.
name is Marge.
But it's not Marge.
It's not a name you up. We can't say Marge.
Do you think sleeping with Marge Simpson would be sexy or a nightmare? Like a real, maybe
Well,
Marge
it depends what you want, right?
Because like a real Marge Simpson with like her underbite and I don't know, or Lois Griffin, like that's not the shape of a human head.
Yeah, but this is like those if they had come to life by how we imagine
What
it.
does
So
the
there has
skin
to be.
feel like?
So if you want to make sweet
What do
love,
you mean, what does the skin
I don't
feel
know,
like?
Like, would
man.
it feel weird to touch a cartoon and it feel like human skin? When I
Well, they're
voice
not-
it doesn't sound so crazy.
well, they're
does
not
it?
cartoons. They would look
They're
basically.
just-
Oh,
they-
so it's like a humanoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basically.
Think about cosplayers.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Imagine if Marge Simpson came to life and and this is what we have
A
approximated.
3D beautiful woman.
Okay.
Yeah, they look exactly like a regular human.
Yeah.
But what
so
if-
you've
so
got
with big
Marge
blue hair.
Sampson,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Betty Bloop,
yeah.
Louis
Goffin.
Goffin.
But okay, say I would like to make
All of
love.
their husbands are out of town, unless you want to fuck their husbands, in which case they'll come back.
Yeah. A xenomorph? Why not? Here's an alien you can make sweet
Well,
love to.
because you're saying that it's like a humanoid Marge Simpson. But say I want to make love to Shrek's beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you
You
can
know-
keep her as Shrek. It
So
should just
she
be,
would remain like.
should just be that monster, but real.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess we're designing monsters but real.
Yeah.
You're making a sort of monster fucker emporium.
God
Yeah.
Which I ain't again. I think that's wonderful.
Because like, yeah, it just does seem to be.
But it does
that
feel like
every-
we've
yeah, okay,
strayed
we
from
have
the
strayed.
original pitch.
Because it does seem that like everything you're right, JD. Everything does seem to be the rewards are I get to make sweet
But
love at a robot.
I think that's only. So I think it's complicated.
Because who? Okay, I am a family.
Uh-huh.
I am a family of I got husband, wife, two
Sure.
kids. Right. Mm-hmm. We want to go to Westworld. What is there for us?
Okay.
Hot dogs.
No, but there are in
No,
real
there's
life.
no hot dogs. Slop. Beer,
We got the pig world accidentally.
slop, mud.
Because I'm like,
a farmer.
No, but okay, so because in real life,
I don't want them, and say my kids
Yeah.
are, let's say, 10 and 8, and to be honest, I don't want them to experience the gunfighting.
world,
or
that
whatever.
makes sense.
I really just want this to be like a really toned down version of this.
well, there are in real life Wild West towns
Exactly.
that you can go to. Fucking Sovereign Hill.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I assume that they would do everything in their power to
If I
accommodate
paid
you.
$30,000
Yeah.
for a day at Sovereign Hill, I would drown myself in that creek.
Well, I think in the ideal world
yeah.
there would be different towns.
Right.
Where you would get on the train, because that's how everybody arrives, and the train would stop. They'd be like, welcome to Jupiter Springs. And they'd be like, adults only. And then they would be like, families, you're heading to fucking Tombstone or whatever. And that would be more of the family town.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Play cards in a bar with your favorite outlaw,
'Cause
Jimmy
that kind
the
of-
Crook.
Because that kind of experience exists already. You're just making a more realistic version. But I think the thing is, so yes, sex is an option.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think there are actually a great many people out there who the act of pretending to be a cowboy is its own reward.
Okay. All right.
Would you prefer to
okay.
be a cowboy or have sex with a robot?
I would prefer to pretend I'm a cowboy and whilst doing that, have the option to have sex.
No. That wasn't the question.
If I would prefer to pretend to be a cowboy, well, then I'd fuck, obviously.
Okay, thank
But
God.
it's not a binary choice in Westworld. I could be like, I'm a cowboy.
Yeah.
So
I
is the
come
whole-
in and I go do the prospector quest, and then I come back with gold, and I'm like, well, I'm role playing, realistic, and I'm always guns out.
Yeah.
And I always walk like this.
Yeah, that's good.
And I call myself rootin' tootin' Jackson Bailey.
Yeah, and you look like you're rooting and you're tooting
Oh,
as you
yeah.
walk.
Well, that's the thing. And I'm like, well, realistically, as a cowboy, as part of my story, this would be a great time to wet my whistle. My
Yeah.
whistle being, of course, my penis.
This, that, and the other, or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So then as part of the fantasy, I go have sex in the brothel.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And I do a little more cowboying. And then if, as
Then
part
you
of
wake
it,
up and leave Westworld.
Yeah.
Is it just an exit? Can you just walk out?
I'm sure at some
I think
point.
the train comes every day, and I think it
Yeah.
goes from
And you
one end of
being-
Westworld to the
okay.
other.
Are you being monitored as well?
You'd have
Yeah,
to be.
there's
Because if
cameras on
I'm
you.
like there, say I am, I'm deep in a golden person.
Yeah.
And then at that moment of of orgasm, I'm like, I'm spending 30K on this. I look to the ceilings. Time out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I want a refund for the next 2 days or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I did what I needed to do, apparently.
That's funny. It's like
Did
kind of
they
like
watch me have a golden orgy?
like when you get like horny brain and your like decision making capabilities are like terrible because you're just so horned up, and like
Yeah.
I think scientifically they proved
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
When you're horny, you're not making clever decisions. It's so funny for you to be you sign up to Westworld because you're horny.
Yeah.
You spend $30,000 a day because you're horny, and
You
the moment
finally come.
you're like, oh,
wow.
what have I done?
Oh, the edging.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bro, the post-nut clarity of realizing I've spent nearly $1 million on my Westworld experience.
This personal clarity be hidden different.
It'd be hitting different when I'm in this much debt.
I mean, this much debt and this much in a golden person.
It's funny because like
Ah,
you just
shit.
like you could jack off in Westworld, but that would be the saddest activity of all.
It's also so funny. Obviously, we're imagining you bust that nut in the brothel, but imagine as part of your fantasy, you're out in the middle of the plain somewhere, and it's like 2 a.m. and you're
Fuck
like,
it, in Main Street. You know?
yeah, but I'm just imagining you're somewhere. You're like, I'm gonna have to walk back to the train,
Yeah.
ride
like
my
a-
comfortable horse,
coyote
back to
watching
fucking
me.
town. What have I done? What am I doing with my
Goddamn.
life?
Yeah. So again, so if we were to be like, all right, we've made a fully emergent, or the theory behind this is that we have these AI and these fully like robots with AI that are basically, they think they're people and
Yeah.
they can be treated like people.
Yeah.
And so this is almost like a bit of a science experiment to be like, hey, you can do whatever you want. And the whole thing is like, we're just going to theme it to be West.
Yeah, it's cowboy themed.
Cowboy themed. How do you pitch this to the investors to make sure that they are being like, sweet, we are going to fund this? Because the amount of money that needs is a lot.
Well, I think it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I think that the more we've spoken about it, the more that the answer of how you sell it to investors is there. It's just like, come live out your fantasies.
Yeah.
And once it's greenlit, then they're just like, because like the more we talk about it, the more it feels like that what you see in Westworld wasn't the original idea for Westworld. It's basically like you're playing the equivalent of playing a Game of the Year edition video
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
You press start and you've got a whole bunch of stuff and heaps of options and you're like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like how the game was originally designed. Where this is like, I don't think you were meant to go and fuck every single person in the town. But they would probably realized after they had complaints like Jackson being like, I can't die and I can't fuck.
Yeah, what the hell?
What the hell am I spending my money on it? And then they're like, well, there's no real reason.
Update, I guess.
There's no real reason in
you've
like
got,
a danger point of view why you can't fuck.
Yeah. But also I imagine,
The robots have holes.
Yeah, and poles.
Yeah, I guess.
But also I think if the fucking and killing was there from the start, that's also another way to sell it to investors. You're like, hey, you know what? Up until
Come
this
fucking kill.
Well, you know what? Up till this point, we've not been able to market the darkest of human desires.
Yeah, I
Finally, we can sell people the shadow of the human soul.
I would be like, okay, I understand theme parks generally, we're
Yeah.
designing them for children and families and those kind of things to have an experience like that.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you right now, we've been doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because sure, we could appeal to the masses and we could be charging, $30 a ticket or whatever to get like, everyone coming in, we got rides and do things. No. We got to come after the big fishes.
Yeah,
we got to go
yeah.
after the multi-millionaires. Have you ever seen a wonderful film called Hostel? And you know how those
Yeah.
people are paying a lot of money to murder plucky teens and
Yeah.
whatever. Well, what if we can do that, but be, I guess,
Ethical.
morally and ethically okay?
Yeah, we're pitching you an ethical hostel.
Yeah,
That's what we're
and we're pitching you right now a morally, ethically hostel that's themed.
Yeah.
Say you want to maybe, I don't know, be in World War II for
Yeah,
some
exactly.
reason.
Yeah,
Say-
maybe you're fucked up in the head.
Maybe you're
Yeah.
fucked up and you maybe, I don't know, want to shoot at Capone in their head. I don't know.
You know who traditionally has a lot of money because the specific way they work has led them into places of power? Sociopaths.
Yes.
Sociopath. And you know what also? They tend to be older
Yeah.
because they don't want to retire and leave it to the next generation.
Yeah, because they want more money for themselves.
Exactly. So why don't we appeal to what was good when they were younger, i.e., cowboy.
Cowboy times.
Tell me one billionaire
And not a
who doesn't look at like
single-
John Wayne or whatever to
Yeah,
be like, guy, I want
that's
to be
me.
that guy.
That was the man. He's the last man.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
actually the last man. He was the
Yeah.
second last
Yeah,
man.
don't worry that he was a complete absolute piece of shit and drafted.
John Wayne was a Nazi.
Yeah.
and didn't he dodge a lot of drafts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
But then making that movie where the bomb went off killed him, and that's funny.
But don't worry, that me.
Yeah,
So we
absolutely.
appeal to the. So is it really appealing to the fragile, like, I guess, masculinity of a billionaire?
Yeah, it's more just like, hey, society has put a couple of rules on you,
Yeah.
and we're here to remove those shackles
Are you a man probably in power who would like to kill someone
and fuck 10 others.
Yeah, in a way that's ethical, because it also reminds me of that classic time travel question where they're like, when in human history would you like to travel back in time to? And if you're a woman, you're like, right now. Because it's been pretty bad up until this point.
That's
And
fair.
it's still not perfect.
Yeah.
So
That's also
I
fair.
don't think that's who you're marketing it towards, but then also, like, that's the fantasy, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Because if you look at it in terms of like smut, and again, it's
I'm always thinking it.
Yeah.
generalization. You're talking about like, yes, you can go in with like the pornography where you get hole in the hog, or you can kind of go down the romance.
hole in the hog.
Whoa, they're doing a different style though.
Yeah, or you can do the whole like, more of the romance novels,
Yeah.
which generally have been kind of pitched more at a sort of a more female
Yeah,
audience.
sure.
Which is kind of what this is in a weird way of like going like, right, well, you want that romance ability
yeah.
kind of thing, but we also want to give you that power fantasy kind of thing. So it's trying to merge both.
I think it would be really tricky. Say that you're there for a week, which
Yeah.
I think is how often people are there. And say I'm going for, I'm doing a romance run.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Yeah, good, great plan.
Thank you, man.
No
And I'm-
flaws.
And I'm doing the
Tick.
Yes. You give me a high five on
Yeah.
the way in. You're not coming in. You're staying in the
Yeah.
cafe outside.
Brother, good luck. Romance away. Ahoy? Romance ahoy?
Romance ahoy.
The train's a boat now. Huh. Okay.
But say I'm doing the ranch hand romance fantasy, where I sign up to work on a ranch, and me and the ranch hand slowly over the week we fall in love. I've got to really time that right, because presumably at any point I could have sex with this ranch hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I have to. There's like a lot on me.
Yeah.
To make this work for me
Because there's
and
no
in my
one
favor.
there guiding you in
There's
a way,
no
right?
No.
DM. There's no one.
There's no DM. There's no like, hey, I understand. Look, hey, even in playing a game, the little wheel comes up to be like, would you like to this or this? Right?
Yeah.
I think there's none of that because again, doing that would break the fantasy.
Yeah.
Like if you had like a little app on your phone which kind of came with like a little kind
Absolutely.
of wheel, like, as like a conversation wheel that you could kind of like look towards to be like, oh yeah, I reckon if I did this,
Yeah.
but you don't have that.
No.
There's
And
no
that
one guiding
would,
you.
Yeah, that would fuck up the fantasy by doing that. And yeah, like you also, I don't know, with stuff like this, the romance thing, it feels like you can be like, if I just walk in and say, I wish to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Would that work because they're programmed like that?
I don't know but then also the alternative is kind of not annoying necessarily. But say I've gone to Westworld for a week and I've got 2 more days and
Yeah.
I've completed all the quests I want to complete.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'd like to romance this guy, but it actually takes 3 days to do.
Yeah.
So I actually can't do that.
And then,
one.
like, does that mean that they're like programming into the robots like
3
how
days.
many days for the romance
Or like,
quest?
do you need like a little meter of like trust?
yeah, like I don't know how long it takes, and I could say you can go to
What
Westworld.
if someone's an 8-day romance?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
wasting my whole week at Westworld.
I'm wasting my
Another-
week trying to,
Another question, I
seduce
guess,
this farmhand.
Is if we're pitching to investors, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, well, who's the audience here?
Yeah.
Because you're being like, it's $30,000 a day.
Yeah.
Right. And generally, you're not going to just come here for a day.
No.
No.
Right?
Well, you wouldn't. That would
No.
be fucked.
So it's like, okay, cool. So we want to, have someone to come here for what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, $150K, right?
yeah.
That audience member, that is, we're really whittling it down and
Yeah.
whittling it down and whittling it down. And are you going like, right, as in, say, if I'm the person who was to invest in this,
Yeah.
it's like, cool. So your audience, the person you are going to get in this, or the people you're going to get are willing to spend $150K, like just at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
And you want to build a whole town.
Yeah.
Why don't we just approach billionaires?
True, be like, we can
If your
curate a
if
fantasy
your
for you.
market already is
Yeah.
billionaires, which is what this is,
Then-
or people who are happy to go into crippling debt
Yeah.
for that little, for that little haughty brain being like, it's only 150K.
It's only
dude.
150K.
It's only
150K and I could sleep with like 10 to 15
It's going to be so
Wild
good.
West people.
Come on, man, you
Damn,
can do
dude.
this. As an investor, I'd be like, I love that what you've done here. You've made a lot of technology.
Yeah.
That these robots think they're real people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question that because that I feel has a lot of further
Oh, yeah.
implications, but don't worry about it. Why don't we, approach people with a lot of money to be like, we can, cater to your specific fantasy, whatever that may be. Sexual,
Yeah.
violently,
Doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
We'll
Who
do
cares
it.
at this point?
And
Well,
it's-
yeah, I guess the only thing there would be the billionaires like, oh no, we don't want something catered like that because if we act like a sociopath or we're like, hey, I want to do a massacre or I want to have
Yeah.
give me the Sodom fucking experience.
I want the Sodom and Gomorrah
Yeah, yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Because then, like, people know.
Well,
like,
well,
that was
yeah,
catered for a
but
billionaire.
well, yeah,
where
that's
at
right.
least
So a lot of billionaires, they would never go to any kind of escort service.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Where we value our privacy.
Well,
No,
yeah, but that's the thing. No, but I see what
there's
JD's saying.
There's
For
a
the-
difference between seeing, like, going to a sex worker and having lots of kinks and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
And then that just being one person that knows that.
I think as well the thing is
Where
if
if you
say
build an entire theme park.
Well, that's why I wouldn't build a theme park. It would be going to them like directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being like, well, well, we can cater a service for you.
Yeah.
The only people that are going to know exactly what's going to happen is like
Me?
and you and I guess a programmer that
Yeah.
has to program this all in,
Yeah.
right? And everything, we have to be basically a lot of encryption, a lot of basically like a lot of money will have to go into securing that none of this leaks.
But I
or
wonder if
gets
there's
out.
some element to the West because people go to Westworld to
Yeah.
blow off steam. But also I wonder if there's some element of going to Westworld where you are going there to fulfill all of your dark desires.
Yeah.
But everybody, it's like an open secret, and maybe somehow rather than being like, I'm spending a week away somewhere
Okay.
mysterious, it's like, I'm
going
just
to
going to Westworld, and then everybody's like, oh, you're not going to do any of the bad stuff.
Of course not.
No.
no one does that.
No one
nobody-
does the
So
bad
is that
stuff.
the kind of like, okay,
I don't
first
even
off-
want a gun or a condom.
Yeah. So the first thing is we have one ad which goes out
Yeah.
to like you're watching on TV. You're there, you're watching Days of Our Lives, and it pops up to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
Come
come,
on
to
down to Westworld.
Experience.
Yeah.
the Wild Wild West.
See
right?
a real life horse.
Yeah. And
Slap it on the ass.
And then
what
everyone's
is this
like,
ad saying?
Slap it on the head. What?
Beat that horse.
it's comfortable.
Push it over.
It
Horse
loves
don't
it.
care.
Oh, horse loves it.
It's not even a real horse.
You, horse meat not included.
So you have what do I want to kill and eat a horse? Anyway,
Yeah.
you have that. as like, you know, that's what we know
Yeah.
for the I guess, you know, the parade of it all.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the performance of it all to be like, it's a theme park, don't worry about it. But then, and like maybe underhandedly, you are going from like place to place to be like, do you want a gold orgy?
Yeah. True.
We'll put it in
Do
for you.
Do you want part of that?
And is that why there are so many little Easter eggs? Is that why there are so many different
I
things?
think-
It's because it's like, look.
They feel like holdovers from like previous things.
Yeah.
Or is it a thing where it's like we are making no money. The only way we're making money is because like these perverts are doing
but
this.
it's extremely weird because you also see there are those other worlds, and the Raj, I just remembered, is meant to be British India, but it is also not like Westworld. It's described as like a resort, so it's like a fancy hotel. The Raj.
So it's a themed hotel.
But it's crazy because that means you go there to be racist.
Yeah.
There are nice hotels in the real world.
Yeah.
You're like, I wish I was living in a colonial, racist system.
People keep yelling at me for my racist views, and I
Yeah.
want to go somewhere where I can be racist and people applaud them.
Like, the only difference about the British Raj as a location is that it's a racist time period.
yeah, because
That's crazy. I mean,
because
so is
you-
the Wild West,
Yes.
of course.
because like you
But-
have the
and World War II.
Yeah.
And the Prohibition.
Yeah.
But that's like slightly less targeted racism,
Yeah.
but it's a racist time.
Yeah.
well, again, it's up to the designer to do it to be like what we think the Wild West might be, or what we think, say, you know, the British Raj was.
Well-
and maybe you try to tone some of that down or enhance it. Who knows? At
Turn
this
it
point.
up.
Yeah.
Don't turn it up. Turn it off.
Because, like, again, you're trying to appeal to your clientele. And if your clientele are fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, and again, are we talking about 30K in today's money, or is it like with inflation?
Well, it seems like the world's going to shit. If you, like me, watched Westworld to season 3 and
Yeah.
beyond, the world is bad.
Is that
Aaron
this-
Paul's got a robot friend.
Is that the season that ends with the Where Is My Mind
Yeah.
Fight Club thing?
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
And in that, there are people, I think there are other robots, but they're not like, I think Westworld's the only place that has humanoid robots, but there are
so
other
maybe
robots.
30K is actually not that much money.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
as
yeah,
well,
maybe with inflation, 30K is like,
Well, it's like
super inflation.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
30K
It's
is
a lot of
like
shit.
5K or something.
yeah. I'm assuming it's still quite expensive because only the very rich go.
Yeah, but like maybe it's not totally inaccessible from
It just-
scumbags like us.
And the crazy thing as well, I don't know if you remember this, I don't know how much you've watched, but in season 2 they go to Samurai World, and there's a big revelation. It's very funny that Samurai World has exactly the same plots as Westworld. They've just been themed samurai
That's
style.
funny.
So basically, they go in there and some guy, you know, like some samurai guy, drops his map and is like, "Oh, there's gold in the hills."
It's like keep the same prospector. Oh, there's gold in these hills.
Gold in these hills.
All there's different is holding a sword.
Yeah, it's like that, and everyone's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" So I don't know if you go to Westworld for a week and you've
Yeah.
done the Fortnite package, get on the battle bus, and then you jump into a Samurai World, and
Or-
you're like, "Wait a fucking."
Or is it a
second.
kind of thing
I've
where
been screwed
presumably
here."
you're like, all right, you go to the investors and you're like, hey, investors,
Yeah.
we have this ability to like basically make an immersive world that caters for the very, very rich
Yeah.
to kind of do whatever they want to do in this. And
Yeah.
we can kind of like, you know, theme it after whatever it wants to
Yeah.
be. Now, we've done a lot of surveys to the very wealthy, and
Yeah.
it turns out they fucking love cowboys.
Yeah.
And they love samurais, World War II, the British Raj,
Well, actually-
and gangsters.
Yeah.
When you think about it, think about a billionaire or even a very rich person. Their interests are usually one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I collect war memorabilia.
Absolutely.
Or,
Oh, yeah? What
I love
kind?
cowboy
What
movies.
side? Yeah.
Yeah, I love cowboy movies. Those kind
Or
of things.
like, I
Like,
love
yeah.
the like Japanese samurai films
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've got a big sword on my wall.
Well,
Absolutely.
big weeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising there's no like, you know, superhero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there would be now.
There would be
be
now,
now.
absolutely.
Go be Captain America.
But that's funny
I
because
guess
you
that
don't get
wasn't-
powers in it.
No, go be Captain America. The punches can't hurt
Oh,
you.
that's true. And you punch a guy,
and then
he
you
gets
could get
flying
your
back.
knob slobbed off by everyone.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Nice dick, Bob. Thanks, man. I love superhero movies.
Yeah.
This rolls. Yeah, I guess. That
Is
would
there
be
a time period that would appeal to you?
No, it's the way that the way
What
that
if it
these
was
are set up.
Fortnite?
Whoa! Can I hit the gritty?
You can hit the gritty.
Dude. Can I drop out of the battle
You
bus?
drop out of the battle
Can I
bus.
collect the Victory Royale crown?
You can.
Can I talk to Agent Peely?
Yeah, dude.
What about other guys?
No.
It's just Peely.
It's just
Yeah,
feeling.
Jones? Will Jones,
Jones will
be
be
there?
there. Jonesy will be there,
I
yeah.
love Jones.
Yeah.
Is Peter Griffin still in Fortnite?
In this
better
version, yes.
believe.
It's a couple of seasons behind real Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fortnite world.
It just seems that you're really trying to you want to put out those surveys. You want if you're going to investors, you're being like, right, we've already done the market research and we found that these are the worlds that they are going to pay top dollar for.
Yeah.
And I understand we're asking because they would need to be asking for quite a lot of money. We're talking multi-billions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's I understand there's a lot of money out right now, but if we're charging, this much money per person kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's because the thing is, you really want the repeat customer. You kind of really want to milk one, a couple billionaires dry, as it were.
Well, you're basically making an MMO. So anybody that was going to get addicted to World of Warcraft or whatever is going to get addicted to something like Westworld.
Yeah. It's just, you can't get a job.
No,
because you can't.
You can't
be
get this
8 hours of work. I come home. I then play for 8 hours. You can't do that.
You can't get Westworld bucks as well. I don't know what the currency exchange is like.
Yeah, well, none. I'm guessing it's just you have gold, you leave Westworld, you don't have gold anymore.
Trying
But
to
do I bring gold into Westworld or do I start off broke?
Can you pay someone to be a gold farmer, as it were? So when you go into Westworld, you have to
I'm guessing you go in there and it's just programmed so that whatever you need at first, they'll just give to you.
I guess there's no.
Well, you're probably meant to go get that gold from the prospect, considering that you don't do anything and then that's the first quest that you get hit with.
Well, again, if it's that kind of the day repeats itself. But how many days are repeating? Because ideally you don't want that to happen because you want to be appealing to, unless you are trying to appeal to multiple people.
Yeah.
You want that
and you don't want their interactions with each other. Yeah. Anyway, Westworld, poorly designed.
Oh, yeah.
And the more we talk about it, it's making me think that maybe the show not quite as fleshed out as we originally
You
thought.
might be on the money there, pal.
I guess as an investor, would you invest?
I think if I was an investor, I'd have too many questions. And you would have to approach me with a simplified version or a very detailed version where Westworld goes in between. So if you pitch me the Westworld that we get in the show, I'm turning around.
Yeah.
Like the reverse The Voice. I press a button so I turn around.
Westworld, and then you with your chair are just
No, just pivot on the spot.
No, I like
Where's
the
he
idea
going?
of liking The Voice.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went to The Voice, but because they're meant to press a button and then they turn around so they can see the singer. So they can be like, whoa, they're so ugly, but they have such a beautiful voice, which was the original premise of The Voice.
Yeah.
But the opposite. I'm looking at the person making the pitch and I hit the button and then my chair just swivels
And I'm
around.
is that a no? Should I go?
Yeah, it's a big no.
It's combining Shark Tank with
The Voice.
I think if somebody came to me and they were like, the sort of dark underbelly of the human soul?
Yeah.
What if we could market that?
Yeah.
Then I would invest.
Okay.
I think there's enough darkness in every human being that you could make money off Westworld.
I'm curious of where you're going, and then the moment they start saying theme park and a Westworld, that's when I'm like,
Experience.
I don't know. I think we're
$30,000 experience? Get fucked.
$30,000 to kill a man.
Yeah,
I
but
get
no
it.
one's going to do
Buddy,
that.
take my cash.
I have seen Hostel. Fair. Okay.
I think there's a lot of people out there that would pay even more to take a life.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, people do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Even
don't know.
what are the poachers that are fucked up?
Oh, yeah,
called?
like
the next level poaching.
Yeah. Like you mean like the people who do like battery poaching, basically?
Or the
Where they'll
poaching.
go and there'll be like a tiger in a cage and they'll shoot it and be like, God, I'm good at this.
Yeah, that's
it's so
bad as
awful.
well. But then
Yeah.
also the poaching where it's like, I'm not going to rest until I kill an endangered species.
Yeah, exactly. There's enough darkness sitting in the crust of the human soul that if you could be like, hey, it's ethical, there's a chance it won't even be considered like morally wrong for you to go. You could tell people you're going to do it. And then you're probably not going to kill a real guy.
Probably
you killed
not.
Well,
Probably.
I'm not in charge of your life.
Yeah.
But then,
I'm not your boss.
see, then here though, if you're trying to appeal to those absolute psychopaths,
Yeah.
they're like, well, then the fantasy's ruined.
Well,
Do what you want. Also, it's a fit. Shut up, freak. That's what I'd say to that psychopath.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I don't know. I just feel like I would.
It is a pretty big stinker of an idea to
But
me.
fair
yeah,
enough.
I'm like, I would entertain the idea. You've got some interesting things to say, but you're wrapping it behind a Westworld themed, cowboy themed theme park, and that to me, I'm like,
Do you
can
want
we
to
have a different discussion?
Yeah, hey, it explores the darkness of the human soul, but you dress as a cowboy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's for babies and also for the fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Cringe.
okay.
Yeah.
And you can have sex with anybody. What?
Oh,
Yeah, the
based.
robots. Okay.
That's how you hit the same button. Cringe. Based.
My chair's just spinning. Yeah, good stuff.
There's a core there, little core concept of idea. I'd be like, you need to bake this war.
Yeah.
And then come
This-
back.
For all the gamers out there, it feels like the Westworld is currently in its Destiny 2 era.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they've added so much shit that it's clearly, it's nothing anymore. They put so much stuff on it, you're like, what's the core? Where are we at now? Who is this for? What's going on? I'm not going.
Yeah, who is this for? Is this just for Ed Harris? Because if so, you've made a really bad game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I've been Joel.
I've been
I've
Jackson.
also been Joel.
Don't go to Westworld.
Yeah.
Don't invest.
I don't think you
Save
can
your
anymore.
coin.
Yeah, go to, I don't know, go to fucking,
Disneyland.
go for a drive, see what's going on the coast.
Warner Brothers Movie World.
Oh, yeah, 3-park super pass.
Three Park Super Pass.
Go to the
That's
beach,
exciting.
have a swim.
Go to the beach, go look at a forest and be like, we got to save these.
Go to a petting zoo.
Oh, yeah.
Play with a baby goat.
Yeah, feed a sheep.
Feed a sheep. That's
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah.
Pat a horse, ride an uncomfortable horse.
Yeah.
Be like, damn, I wish these horses could be more comfortable. If only we'd invest.
Lots of things to do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bye.
yeah. Sorry you can't watch Westworld anymore and don't know what we're talking about.